All right, guys, let's continue on here. Gonna finish up making this panel here. Sorry about the chair noise. I gotta sit down sometimes. I gotta make that little panel for the bottom. It looks like this one here. And gotta put this thing in. Finish that out real quick. I'll do those things. Then I've got to start fitting the nose on. It's a bit of a process. So just so you know, you have to put the nose in place, and then you take this panel here and put it up so that this edge here butts up against the bottom of the nose while the nose is positioned correctly. And then what I'm going to do is actually spot weld this in place, and then after that I'll spot weld along the bottom edge. I'll pull the nose back off and then spot weld the top edge. That's typically how it's done. You put the nose in place, so the process is going to go like that. I'll show you guys a little bit more in detail later on, but that's just kind of where we're heading. Hopefully we'll make it that all the way through there. Got a lot to do still. So anyway, we'll just move on and show you what's happening. All right, so I want to show you guys how I do this. So this is my bend edge right here, and my edge is going to be about right there where I need to cut it. So I'll just go bend right around there, and I cut like that. Let's look at the other side. All right, so this one here, again, bend edge is right here. Cut edge is about a ½ inch out. Right there. And this one's gonna go over there like that. Yeah. And about like that. Then the inside, I just reach inside, put my pencil against the edge, or my Sharpie, and then just trace it. And you guys can't see what I did, but let's pull it out and look at it. So now I just need to remember this part's my cut. The bottom edge is my cut. This outer edge is my cut. This is a bend edge. That is a cut edge around there. I'm just gonna make that piece. Let's see if it fits. Again, just using my scissors. I could use the plasma cutter. It does the same thing. Bring you guys back in a little bit. All right, we're all cut out. I'll just bend that corner down and this one down. Bummer is I need to do it from the other side. My bender works this way. Let's mark it up. I just love it when a plan comes together, right? Remember that show? As a youngster. 18, I think that was, what? All right. That fits pretty good. It goes uphill a little bit because, like I said, I knew these were going to be off on the height when I was talking about the other side, if you watch the other video. So, because I know I'm going to have to trim it, and these things are repair pieces. You're supposed to just kind of use what you need. So I will pinch this in. Let's take a look at it. All right, you guys. My favorite tool again. I never thought I would use this thing this much until I got it. Let's see if that one held. Yeah. All right. That camera stands right in the way. Guys, I had to move over. have to move the camera. You get the idea, don't you? All right, let's try this one. It's a little off, so I don't know. I think I can bring it up with this thing. I'll show you. I'll start over here, I guess. Maybe not. Must not have paint down there. There it goes. I'll find some paint. There we go. May not get it from here though. I have to figure out. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's still held. Now let's try another one. Sometimes you just gotta wiggle it around to get the paint to clear off enough. I already stripped it, I thought. But no, I guess not. I don't think I'll get one way out there. It's heavy. Maybe try out here, should I? I don't think so. I don't know if it's going to pinch that one. Probably didn't think it'd do nothing. Yeah, maybe. Say it's definitely on there. Good enough. Goes uphill, but it's just for the spot weld edge along here, so the spot welds will go uphill. The panel will actually hang down a little bit. It'll look fine. Be looking good. All right, let's just put this panel on. We're not ready to install it yet, but when you get these things, they come flat. So you gotta bend them in the radius. Where's my little pliers? Okay. So this thing goes right here. I'm a little low on this thing. That's all right, got a grinder. So, actually this thing's shaped a little wrong, isn't it? Because usually this thing is beautifully perfect top to bottom, and so I'd say the top edge is a little high or the bottom edge is a little low. I don't know which one. Anyway, we're just going to make it round for now. So you just bend it. They bend really easy. Get it shaped. Not centered, but recenter it. A lot of times I'll just kind of put it up there and check it. Sometimes I'll just bend it like this. Over bend it a little bit, and then when you put it on, it kind of forms to it. If you get my drift. Let's see. Bend this thing, put it on there. We got a long ways to go, don't we? Because if I overbend it, right, then when I clamp it on, the corner will be right and then it'll push itself in. So it's a little bit better if it's a little bit over arc. Most of the arcing is not in the middle, it's on the sides, just so you know. Really can't screw up on this one too bad. You can't screw up. It's not that hard. Don't overcomplicate. Okay. So, this is just temporary. Got it on there. Let me go ahead and clamp it in place. Before I put it on, actually, let me take it back off. Gotta finish this stuff out. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to just willy-nilly, however it lands, clamp it in place. Then I'm going to put the nose on, line up the nose perfect, all the way where it's exactly where it's going to be. Then I'm going to take this thing and push it up against the bottom of the nose, okay, wherever that lands, then I'll correct. So what I'll try and do is, I'm sure it's going to be near the top of this, okay? It's usually pretty close, a 1/16 of an inch or whatever. I'm going to push it all the way up so it's against the bottom of the nose. Then I'm going to I may have to correct this top edge, you never know. But then usually I'm going to have to do my correction down here. And I'll just take my dead blow and I'll just knock this back up. Because right now, you can see the top and the bottom. It's about 1/4 of an inch too big. Between here and here. So what I'll do is, I'll do my correction hopefully from the bottom. I'll just beat that bottom up. But I want it to be painted behind here and seam sealed. So I'm going to do that right now. Paint and seam seal behind here. Everything get the paint and seam seal right now. I'll get that done and bring you back in. See, this is what I'm using. Direct to metal. Krylon rust protector. Just going to give it a quick squirt. A couple of coats of it, about anything. Like I said, it doesn't see any sun back here. Make sure I paint the under edge. Not going to worry about runs. Where there's runs, there won't be rust. It's an old saying. I'm trying to make an even coat at all. Let this dry. I like this product because it dries fast. So squirt it down a couple coats, let it sit there. We'll let it sit there and dry and put another coat on. While it's drying, I'm just going to talk to you guys real quick about something. The worst part about rust on a VW bus is between this layer and the nose, always. It always rusts. I've even taken them off and seen wet water still inside here that's been there for years, and it just rusts out. So I might have a way to fix that. I might try something a little different on this one. I don't do that on all of them. Since I'm doing the whole nose on this one, I'm going to try it. There's a couple ideas I had. One was put a couple holes in here up along the bottom there, that edge, so that water has a way to escape. The other thing that I was thinking about doing is actually seam sealing right here. So after I'm done welding this whole thing in, just put a bead of seam sealer right there and then put the nose on when I finally get to the very end. And that might do it. You know, I'm thinking that might help keep the water from getting in here. Because water just gets in between these two layers. There's another layer stacked on top and it's open right here, and water just gets in there. And that's where your rust always is. About 2 inches at the bottom of the nose. Every bus I've ever had, everyone I've ever seen, always rust right there. So anyway, I'll let this dry. Be back in a minute. All right, let's take these hinges off. I've already tried to lubricate them once. I'm just going to show you this real quick because some people think they always just try and take something apart. So whenever something's rusty, I'll try and get it loose. Sometimes I'll sort of take it off and then I'll put it back on with lube on it. And just doing that, work it back and forth, take it off a little further until it starts resisting, and then shove it back on. It's never just take it off. Sometimes you'll end up breaking it most of the time trying to do that. So I wanted to show this to some of you guys real quick. That the process is pretty much the same for anything. Work it back on, take it back off. Because I don't want to hammer on that because I'm going to booger up the threads. So even if I put a nut on there, it's flat on two sides, so it probably would ruin it. So work it back in again. It's never just take it off. Find it until it gets in that loose spot. Once I get that flush, then I'll use my punch and knock it out the rest of the way. It's almost there. Let's see if I can just hit it a little bit. just resisting right at the same spot, so I have to get it past that. It might actually be because there's a mushroom on there. Somebody else trying too hard instead of playing around with it. I think it is just a little bit mushroom at the end of it. Yeah, I can see somebody beat on it. Let me just take the grinder and clean it up. I'll bring you right back in. So what I'm going to do with the grinder is I'm just going to taper the very, very last 1 or 2 threads. Just a little bit, clean it up. Let's see if it comes off now. Still might be just a hair boogered. Just have to be gentle with this stuff. You know, it's old car. I can feel there's an edge on there. Let me clean it off a little more. It's nothing worse than a guy just beating something that doesn't need to be beaten. I want to beat this thing in a second. No, I'm just kidding. Get a little more. Since I've tapered a little bit. It's all about just working it gently. Well, anyway, I think you guys got the idea. Just take it easy on stuff. It's an old car. You didn't want to wipe out your parts. A few more hammer hits, knocking it back in and out. Got it off. Here's what I did for seam sealer. I'm only doing this section right now. After this piece is on, I'm gonna, well actually after I weld the bottom edge, and I'm gonna pull it back off. Actually I may just fit it once, I'm not sure how it's gonna go. But I'll pull it back off before I put the nose on, and then I'll paint all in this and seam seal it, because I'm gonna burn off the paint on that edge. So anyway, do that after this piece is on. And then I'll seam seal all that. All right, so what I need to do now is I got to put the nose on. And it's just kind of got that lower valance set in place. It's not actually where it goes. I've got to get the nose to where it fits and it's in its exact position. So it's going to take a lot of vice grips. I got to take off the door on your right, the left side door. I decided that I'm not going to put on this door to check it, because it's not really going to help me without a dog leg on there. So it's, you know, it's not going to be a big deal. I know I can fix it after it's on. So you know, on this side I just decided to do it because I remember that pillar was loose on the right, on your right, on the left side door. Okay, let's take off the door. Take it off real quick. All right, so we're moving along here. Set the top of the nose in the right place. Now I'm bringing the bottom up to meet with the bottom of the nose in the right place. I've done the 2 first sides. Okay, now I'm going to go to the middle. Then I got to start checking my holes to make sure I'm centered, because I could be off because of my when I put those little black pieces on the bottoms of the doors, could be off a little bit. And you know how I'm going to correct it if I am a little bit off there is I'll just open up the holes a little bit for the bumper brackets. That'll be fine, you know, because it could be just a little bit like this or like that, you know. We're talking about, you know, minor amount. Those are the things that you could run into. If you did the lower nose, then like I said, you would take the section and you'd use some of those, I forget what they're called, little clamps, clamp it in place. For they're like butt welding type clamps. You use those clamps to hold it in place. Then you put the bottom portion on, set the height for it, and then take the top piece back off, finish welding, you know, tack it in place, and finish welding the bottom in. On mine, I'm going to use the pincher, so I'm going to throw a few pinch welds on there, and I'll pull it off. And I'll see what I got to do to the top edge. I might have to bend the top edge down a little bit. We'll see once I get that off. Because it seems like the nose is setting, well, it's actually setting a little bit like this. Not sure why, really. Don't see any reason for it to, other than, you know, I could have welded the back piece in slightly, you know, off centered. You know, I could have been just a little bit, but that doesn't matter. It's the inner panel. So, you know, if it doesn't exactly line up with the outer ones, that's fine. As long as it's there structurally, that's what's most important. Let me move on. I'll show you some more stuff in a minute. All right, that's where I'm going to call it. It's pretty much what you got to do at some point. I see that's a little low, but what I'm looking at is the middle, because this thing goes down a little bit and come up. That I'm going to fix too. I'll put a screwdriver in this hole, or I'll put a hook in there, and I'll bend it up just a little bit while I'm welding it. That's kind of normal. Now I noticed, remember, if you guys watch me take this off, this corner was off a little bit. It was overlapped quite a bit more, and it still is with the new panel on there. So anyway, I'll correct that a little bit. This thing walked just a little bit right here. So what I'll probably do is once I get like to weld it to about here, I'll weld here, I'll weld over here. Then what I'll do is I'll hammer this and kind of massage this into place. That kind of stuff. You can't let anything go, you know. It's because you know, the panels aren't exactly right, or close, but they're not. You could sit there and play with it. Like I said, when I was putting the nose on thing, you could sit there and play with that for days and just get it just perfect, like original. And no, I don't want to spend that kind of time. It takes too long. So that's kind of where I'm going to go with it. Let's do some welding. I'll go ahead and put the center piece on. All right, well, I got so many on the bottom. I'm going to put at least twice that many because, you know, I'd say 20% maybe of your welds with this thing are probably not going to hold. You know, like I was doing that corner over there and I was going through 3 layers, so you got to really make sure it's held on there like a good 20 seconds, and then it finally holds. You know, watch it kind of melt them together. So that's the kind of things I'm doing with it. You can't just do it blindly, you know, and expect it's going to do its job. It's not going to always. And especially like if the edge of this thing hits a piece of metal and it's not the tip hitting the tip, you know, then it doesn't get hot enough to melt the 2 surfaces and make them stick. So, but look, this is what I got right here, like I was saying, that panel that's on here is made a little bit too tall because I'm actually hanging off. You can see it. I beat it up a little bit over here because it was even lower. Because I might be just a hair, like I said, it could be just I mean, very little, but it's an inner panel, doesn't matter. So, this right here is what I was talking about. Now, so that you put on the bottom. Let me hold it with my left hand. And you beat that sucker down. It doesn't need to be perfect. It can be up just a little bit like that. That's fine. Just needs to be there enough to hold it. You know, when you pinch it, it's going to be there. So I just got to beat that sucker down. That's because this panel actually was made too tall. It's made too tall, but you know, I mean, it's metal bending, and you know, they don't always look at the pattern every time they do it. You know, it gets a little off. So you just make it straight. And if you can see again, this is the part between this layer and the nose. These butt flat together, and especially in the middle where the nose dips down, water always gets in there. You know, there's always going to be water possible. And it gets in there and it rusts out again. So that's going to happen. That's just the way they're built. You know, that condensation even on the inside. That's why you keep them in the garage and don't daily drive them on bad weather days. That's why I tell people to do that. You know, whatever, you drive it a bad weather day, you're gonna have a rusted out nose pretty soon. Just a matter of time. So anyway, get that all lined up. I'll go ahead and do some more of this. I don't know if I'll get it all on camera because it's pretty tiring holding that thing. It wears me out, so I got to go sit down for a little while and rest, and then come back out here and just have at it for a little while, because that thing's really, really heavy, and just manhandling it and then sitting there fighting with it to try and get a good connection and all that. It's great, but it does save a lot of time. It's totally worth having. I don't know why I didn't buy one of those things like 30 years ago. I have no idea why I didn't buy one. But anyway, so I've been hammering it down, making sure it's nice and tight together. If you have an old valance in the front of yours, then you might have issues where you're gonna have to beat that thing and straighten it as you go and just work it until that piece goes on. This one can be a little bit wavy, and you don't even see it because it's behind the bumper. In fact, they were from the factory. Yep, they were. And then this side, I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, like I said, I'm gonna beat that thing down just like I did over there, and then I'm gonna put it on. Now it may curl it out just a little bit, and that's going to want to fight me going in. So what I'll do is after I weld it, I'll knock it back in again. So I'll knock it down to where I can weld it, and then beat it down this way again, so that, you know, because that lip's going to want to roll outward like that. I'm going to have to beat it back down to get it straight and smooth, because it's butted tightly against this nose. And I'm going to attempt this time, I'm going to try and just put a nice big fatty bead of caulking along here before I set that nose on, and then just put her down and pinch it and crimp it. That's done. And then let that dry. You know, it could be done possibly too with panel adhesive. You could just use panel adhesive along that. Boy, that would be a nightmare to get back off. Just had a panel adhesive all the way from here all the way down, man. That would be like, whoo, that'd probably work though. Probably keep it from rusting. You know, and I don't know how tight they are. They may not be tight enough. Panel adhesive has to be a really tight fit for it to work. So anyway, the other thing, you could do this part with panel adhesive, this edge. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be a pain, real pain in the neck to do, because you'd have to have a ton of these type of clamps like that one. You'd have to have a ton of those, and you have to just clamp it all down really good. And then do the panel adhesive on the other side, let it dry overnight, and then do the panel adhesive on the other side, and then roll the edge. Yikes. I think the pincher, I'll put it on, pinch it, and then roll the edge. So I'll put it on, clean this edge right here. What I'm going to attempt to do is pinch it right there, and then roll this edge over. That's how it was done in factory. I'll try and do it again that way. Look cool. All right, talk to you guys a little later. All right, let's take a look here at some of the stuff that I do. I drill the holes, bigger holes back here, because debris can get down in there and plug up. You know, I think there was like this hole, I think that's about it, was there, and it's raised up and water would settle in those things. So I caulk everything really good, and I do this even on the partial noses. I've always done that. But this thing, I went ahead and I put little holes right here, right there, you know, just a few of them. It's very small ones, because what happens is, like I said, it gets between these two layers, and I've had them be wet back there that are, you know, sitting for a long time, and they were wet between the two layers, and you know, that's how bad I've seen them. So maybe that'll help. I don't know, maybe if water gets behind there, and it'll get out before it starts to really damage the paint that's on there. I don't know, just a, you know, fighting chance maybe. Because when I weld it, I'm gonna spot weld it along here maybe. I usually do, and usually I leave an opening because I slit cut them, and I'll leave a little opening for the water to come out, because it'll actually go between the welds, and I don't seam seal that piece because I want the water to be able to come out of it. So sometimes I don't seam seal the bottom of things. I'll seam seal everything on the top, so the water gets in there, it'll come out. So just things like that, you gotta think. So anyway, we'll be ready to put the nose on here real soon. Can't turn that on without this off. There we go. And then we'll put the nose on. I'm gonna do a couple more things I need to do before I do it. Gotta really check everything out really good. I pulled out some of the gauges and got those out of the way. Made sure that all the bolts, that's one thing I gotta do. Put another 5mm in here. That thing's really hard to get in there if you have ever had to do that one. And if it was stripped, I don't know why it was out, so I better make sure that that's right while the nose is off. Somebody said something about the wiring. The wiring is actually really in good shape. The only thing wrong with it is the connections at the ends. I know some of them are wasted, so I'll just replace the connectors, and you know, on some of them I'll pull the fuse block out, and probably do that after the nose is on. But I'll probably end up, you know, changing a bunch of those things. But the wiring itself is in really good shape. It was like really amazingly nice. So that was as rusted out as this thing was, and you'd be surprised the wiring is good. So all the way to the back, I mean, it was in just like untouched. There was no burnt wires or anything. So I'm just going to leave that alone and make it work the way it is. It's all original. So I'd like to keep stuff as original as possible, but this thing's like, you know, this is out of the league. This thing's, you know, it's wasted. All right, let's put this thing on. I've got weld-through primer on the top. It's really, you know, kind of makes me feel better. It's not really, to me, the weld-through primer doesn't really do that much. So, you know, as soon as I get it hot, it's gone. So anyway, but it might help a little up on the top because it just gets wet up there. Got all the seam sealer on everything, got everything painted. Everything's, the bottom piece is welded in, and that's welded across the top, across the bottom, sides, everything's ready to go. Let's look here. The metal's clean along here, so that if I can, I'm going to try to use this. Try to use the spot welder to pinch the nose on the way it was done originally. I don't know if my tongs are going to work. I'm going to try it. Hopefully it will. That'd be great if it does. Otherwise, I'll have to refigure this out. Hopefully I don't have to do that. So anyway, go ahead and caulk the top edge of the bottom. Just something I'm going to try on this one. See how it works. Let's see how it works. You guys can find out with me. I don't know if it will or not. So let's get busy with it. So if you're thinking about it, before you get it done welding the whole thing in, I just welded in the corner there, welded in the middle. I know the bottom's where it's going to be. And I put the glass in with the old rubber on it. That's why you don't throw this stuff away. I was going, oh my God, I didn't ever think of that. No, you can put the new rubber on and then make sure it fits too. And just you don't have to peel it all in. Just make sure it just goes in to the hole. You'll know that if it doesn't, if you can't get it in there, you know it's not going to fit. So that's how you do that one. You don't need to lift the rubber on. If you lift it, you know, that's really hard to get it back out again without tearing up the rubber. But you just put it in like that. You know, don't try and lip it. You don't have to do that. If it doesn't fit in the hole, it's not going to fit. Okay, anybody think it's not gonna fit? Well, let's see. Hot spot. It's going straight. Okay. All you guys are haters. I love them. And that was my first try at that one too. Didn't put it on there first before you guys. Just so you know. All right, anybody catch that? Yep, it worked too. If you want to get in a tighter area, you just angle them. As long as they touch together, it works. I don't know if you can see how clean that is. It's very, very like machine, like a original, like it's never been touched. The lighting in here is not helping you guys, is it? Gotta have it in a different light here for you to see it, but it really comes out clean. Here's a better look at that tool. You guys are new to the channel, haven't seen the door assembly video I did. This is the skin zipper. They're available. They have them on Amazon, 25 bucks, something like that. And that is the way to put on skins, really. I used it on the bottom edge. It didn't really fit. If you can see, this bottom lip right here is not really intended for that kind of thing. So I just shoved it in this one that's kind of worn, because these things don't last forever. They only just last for a certain amount of time, then you gotta throw it away and get a new one. And it's just kind of worn on this side, so I shoved it in the worn side and just kind of walked it along, and it got it pretty good. Got a pretty good tight finish on there. Not bad. Well, this just goes to show you guys that I can do stuff really nice. I mean, this turned out about as good as about anybody can do them. Maybe a little bit nicer some of the metal shops guys. This side's still not primed. I just threw some primer on there so you can really see what it looks like. When I put the primer sealer or primer not surfacer on there, then I'll go ahead and sand it and it'll look really like factory pretty much, and then I'll fill all these little spot welds. I pinch them kind of hard because I want to make sure that they're holding, because I have a few that don't hold sometimes. And I double checked all the bottoms. I was hitting them with a hammer to make sure that they were on there. A few of them weren't, and I just did another one near it. So pretty much there's a lot of spot welds on there, a lot more than maybe the factory even put on. And I just figured, you know, there is no defense in this car other than this nose, and there really isn't much there. So if it ever does get in a wreck, I want it to hold, you know, do its best. I don't think it's going to help much. You might as well just be in a motorcycle, probably safer than being inside this thing. You're in a tin can that you can't even split lanes in. So anyway, I think that's it for this. I am worn out. This thing just, that thing's heavy. My muscles all hurt. You know, my back's gonna hurt me tomorrow probably from this. And you can see that it is on, and it is, all I gotta do is sand it down and prime it. A little bit of, check it out one time probably, and you know, put a little seam sealer around these guys here. And then I don't think it's gonna need much other than that. You know, just a little bit of fill work on the corner, the little edges where I've got where I pinched it kind of tight. And then that's it. It's ready for paint. Won't be much. You could almost just put enough surfacer on there and just kind of sand it and make it look like original. With, you'd see the pinches, you know, and then leave them there, kind of like what they did when they built the thing. They were kind of crude. But anyway, that's it for this one. Let's see your comments on that. I hope you guys really like this. If you didn't catch it, one more look. You can angle them. I was wondering how to get those tight areas. And with the long ones I have, they actually are even more low profile. I could probably do a lot more with that thing than I even know. I'm just learning how to use it. So I think one of the guys was commenting, I think one of the guys said something about a counterweight for that thing. That's kind of cool. If somehow bolt to counter, you know, put a pulley up and then have a weight that's almost the same weight as it is, maybe a little bit lighter than the weight of that on the other end, and then just kind of use that so that it's really easy to move, so you can takes all the weight off of it. Then it'll be a lot more fun to use. So right now, boy, it is hard. I'll talk to you in the next one. Please like, share, and subscribe.